So you want to get a concealed carry permit, but aren't sure what to do or where to start or what it does it cost. This is Alan with Quarter Horse Arms in Snow Camp, North Carolina. And before I get involved or too involved in the steps that are required to get a concealed carry permit, let me start with a couple of disclaimers. One, what I'm going to talk about is directly related to North Carolina. States that do allow concealed carry, the permitting process varies. Some of it from as simple as you should not look down the barrel of a gun to find out if it's loaded, to stuff that's more involved. The other disclaimer is if you're not sure about what the laws are in your state, check with an attorney, check the state law. Sometimes even the sheriff's office or police department can give you vital information. All right, so let's talk about concealed carry permits in North Carolina. Step one, you got to find a place that has an instructor. So, for example, Quarter Horse Arms, I am a concealed carry handgun instructor. So I'm not even sure if there's a big database anywhere. But you can probably look, and I know there's stuff or ads online. And for costs, I typically around 40, maybe $50. And I've seen it as high as 120, although I'm guessing that those folks don't get quite as much business. There's also people like me, for example, that'll do a group teaching session. So if you have a organization, whether it's a church or like teacher group, or a bunch of friends that all want to take the class together, you can probably get a better price for that. Now, in North Carolina, you're looking at 8 to 10 hours of class time and shooting time, of which at least 2 of those hours are going through the laws. And trust me, I mean, it's not very exciting, but it is a requirement that you know, well, when you can shoot somebody and whether or not you should shoot somebody. And then, you've got a session or part of a session where you're going to be required to learn how to maintain and clean your gun. And then you're going to have to demonstrate shooting at a 12-inch target at 3, 7, and 10 yards. So you're looking at, 10 rounds at each of these things, or actually take that back, it's 15 rounds at each of the targets, demonstrating an ability to generate hits. A lot of the ranges, a lot of the instructors will offer things like you can rent a gun from them, or they may have a gun available and you just bring ammunition. And it all varies. Okay, so at the end of the course, which assumes that you've passed the target shooting and have not shot anybody else, including the instructor, you have to take a written test. North Carolina, it's a combination of multiple choice and true-false. And does it, kind of nitpick over some of the laws? The answer is yes. But they want to make sure you understand that you can't just randomly go out and shoot somebody, just because you're having a bad day. We already see enough of that in this country. And then you're going to go, hey, okay, now I finished the course. I can carry a handgun concealed? And the answer is no. Yeah, this is only part of the process. And then what you're going to have to do is go to the sheriff's office. And in fact, even out in this relatively semi-rural community, the permit documentation is all online. It's not a big deal. It's usually a PDF. You can fill it out online, print it out, and bring it with you to the sheriff's office. The fee is somewhere, I think, between $75 and $100, depending on whether or not you're going for a first-time permit or if it's a renewal. The process itself used to be very quick, like within a couple of weeks, but because of all the shootings, they're running through more databases on the background check, and you can expect the time, potentially to go up as high as, 12 weeks. So you're talking, up to 3 months. And then once you've, filled out all the paperwork, gotten your fingerprints done, and then they run it through, when you show up to go pick up your permit in North Carolina, it's just a piece of oak tag with a stamp from the sheriff on it. And it's good for 5 years. But you have to bring the certificate that shows that you passed the concealed carry handgun course, and you've got to bring the original, not a copy. And it's actually a fairly straightforward process. They will ask some questions on the forms, which are kind of like what you may have answered any time that you've purchased a gun. Are you a fugitive from justice? Are you addicted to drugs? Have you ever been convicted of a felony? Have you ever been convicted of spousal or child abuse, or any of those other questions that may have disqualified you from getting a gun in the first place? So, assuming you can pass all of that, the final step, once the sheriff's office calls and you go pick up your permit, and at least out here, you had to show your ID and then you had to sign the card in front of them, which is, no big deal. And then it's yours. You can go laminate the card if you want. You just got to make sure it doesn't get destroyed. And in North Carolina, if you are carrying a concealed handgun, you have to have the permit on you, and you have to have valid identification, a driver's license or a state-issued ID card. You can't have one or the other. You must have both. All right, so having said all that, if you have any questions about concealed carry, by all means, get in touch with me. I'm Alan. The email is info@quarterhorsearms.com. The website is quarterhorsearms.com. The phone number is 919-808-6480. I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to hearing about any comments about these podcasts. You guys have a great day.